Boston Celtics just kicked the living crap out of the New York Knicks. I'm trying to save the swear words until we get a couple of minutes in here. Can you hear me loud and clear? Wi-Fi's been a little all over the place today, but how are we doing, man? This is supposed to be the team that was built to stop us in the offseason? Okay, no OG Anunoby, sure. No Kristaps Porzingis, no Drew Holiday. I don't want to hear anything about teams weren't full strength. The Celtics own this matchup. The Celtics own this matchup. As long as the New York Knicks' two best players are two players that the Celtics love hunting, they cannot win this matchup. Jason Tatum loves playing against big men that have to play drop coverage and can't survive on switches. And not only that, are bad in drop coverage. He was destroying Karl Anthony Towns. I need this matchup in the playoffs, and we're most likely going to get it. It's going to be so awesome for the Jason Tatum agenda because, dude, this is when Tatum cooks. Think about his best games as a Celtic. 46 on the road in Milwaukee against perimeter defenders like Bobby Portis and drop defenders like Brook Lopez. Joel Embiid, 51-point game. Can't play drop coverage against Tatum. Cooking you, getting downhill. I mean, Tatum started the game with a poster on Precious Achiuwa. Like, the highlight reel in this game is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. He had the buzzer beater, late shot clock, step back three on the right wing over Mikal Bridges. 40 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, only one turnover. 13 for 26 from the field. 7 for 14 from 3, 7 for 9 from the free throw line, 2 missed free throws at the beginning of the game. And he left stuff on the table too. I thought early in the game, he missed like 2 layups, 2 9 to 12 foot mid-range jump shots. He just couldn't get to go. It was like, why can you not hit these wide open 8 foot, 9 foot mid-range jump shots? But then the 3-point shot started going. The mid-range fadeaway started going. This was, as Ben Vallis said on Twitter today, this is straight to the JT career Hall of Fame championship DVD, man. 19 points in the third quarter in MSG. I don't know what it is about this team, but at this point, we know what we're getting, right? We know what we're getting from this team. When it's a big game, they're flipping the switch. Go into Cleveland, you win the game. You're playing against a Mavericks team that's shorthanded, that everyone's been talking shit about them, how they've made the worst trade in NBA history. No Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson has his best game of the season, and they don't play defense, and they don't have good process on offense. The most predictable thing ever. Flip it to the next game, into MSG on the road against their supposed rival, the team that was built to stop them in the offseason, and they smoke them by 30. Smoke them by 30. This team is a flip-the-switch team. It just is what it is. And I think the sooner that we all accept it, the sooner we can just be happy, or not be happy, but let the losses or the close game against bad teams just wash over us. Big seeding implications. We're now 2-0 against the Knicks. You only need to win 1 out of the next 2 in order to clinch the tiebreaker. But is that a good thing? Do we want the 2 seed against the Knicks? We're just so fucking good on the road. Shout out RJ. Appreciate the donation. C's go 61-37 after the Knicks cut it to 3. And big shout out to Luke plus Nemi, 25-10 with 4 blocks. Yeah, man. The Celtics were up 13 or so at halftime, and the only thing keeping them in the game was Jaylen Brunson free throws. Jaylen Brunson ended the game with 13 free throws, and incredible adjustment by the Celtics to keep him off the free throw line in the second half. 11 free throws at halftime for Brunson, only 2 free throw attempts in the second half. And it's just disgusting, dude. I tweeted out at halftime, Jaylen Brunson, the gods will not reward that disgusting foul-baiting behavior. You're a scourge in our game. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, dude. 11 free throws in the first half. 8 free throws of those came in the second quarter. But you hold Brunson to, Brunson's funny. Brunson ended up having 36 points, but 13 of those came from the free throw line. But this is how the Celtics play defense, man. We're going to make that one. We're not going to overhelp on the stars. and you're going to have to go for like 50 when they're playing like playoff level defense. And it's just a bad matchup for Towns. Towns ends the game 9 points. 9 points, 8 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. Like the fact that he only got up 2 threes says it all. Because the Celtics are comfortable switching either of the Jays onto Cat. They're comfortable switching, obviously, Porzingis, obviously Al, Drew as well. Luke and Nemi can handle him in the switches. So they're not able to play their pick and pop game with Brunson and Towns in the way they like to. And then on the other end, we covered it, man. Tatum, the way that he was splitting those double teams, getting out to open space off the pick and roll and either getting downhill for dunks or kicking to open shooters or pulling up from 3. It's a perfect matchup, not just for the Celtics, but for Tatum. And if it's a good matchup for Tatum, then it's over, man. Like, the numbers when Tatum is able to hit his pull-up threes at a high volume, the Celtics are pretty much unstoppable. Like, when Tatum goes 7 for 14 from 3, you know they won the game. It's just how it works. He's able to walk into wide-open shots, get downhill, and then you're able to shut him down on the other end. Yeah, man. And, on Luke and Cater, absolutely. I was screaming at the screen. The Cater-Tillman double big lineup, not it. They survived the Luke Cater double big lineup, and I think a lot of that has to do with Luke. But I have to give the credit to Cater, man. Like, shout out. A lot of hustle, no suck. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. As long as we're hustling, we don't care if we suck, but we'd love to see some hustle, no suck. That's what it's all about, baby. Shout out Lura in the chat. Appreciate you. Brunson was a minus 19. That's right. I'm assuming their whole team was a minus a million. Of the starters, at least, Towns was a minus 26. Achua is a minus 37. They just do not have the horses to compete in this one. But Cater and Luke, dude. Luke Cornett, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, 0 turnovers. He got into a little bit of foul trouble because of that nonsense from Brunson, but 7 for 7 from the free throw line. And what's gotten on into Luke with dunking, dude? He's finally remembering that he's 7 foot tall. He's getting the ball in these pick and rolls, and he's just gliding like a gazelle down the paint, dunking on people. It's beautiful, dude. Like, the development of Luke is genuinely huge, man. Like, the fact that he has taken this step as a player. Like, Horford plays 31 minutes tonight because we don't have Porzingis. But, I mean, Luke was better than Al tonight, like, pretty easily. It just keeps the miles on Horford down. And for whatever slippage that there is from Horford, Luke, I think, can actually make up for that in the playoffs. Like, you saw what Luke Cornett did tonight against our supposed second-round matchup. You saw what he did in the matchup against Cleveland a few nights ago. This dude can play in the playoffs. I think, in a series, there's going to be moments where he's taken advantage of. But I think, you're definitely going to be able to get productive minutes out of Luke Cornett. And I think part of that is his just growth as a player with decision-making confidence. But the chemistry that he's built with Tatum in particular, Tatum and any big man just develop such incredible chemistry. I haven't even mentioned Pritchard tonight. And he did do a lot of his work late, like blowout P, at it again. But that was kind of big. Like, the Knicks were kind of teetering in that, like, 17, 16, 18, back to 20, back to 17. And Pritchard just went nuclear. Went absolutely nuclear late. 25 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And a lot of that was the Pritchard-Cornett two-man game. That's real built-in chemistry, man. And, like, Hauser didn't get run tonight. Ended up playing 17 minutes. A bunch of that came in garbage time. But, man, Tillman, in a game that the Celtics won by a million, Tillman was a minus 12 in less than 6 minutes. Tough scenes from the Tillman thing. That's like the only dude from this season. I mean, Hauser as well. I guess not having living up to expectations this season. I guess Jaylen as well. We could talk about Jaylen a little bit, but Cater exceeded expectations. Luke exceeded expectations. Like, just huge. And Pritchard, I really liked seeing this from Pritchard, man, because I was really frustrated with him in the first half of the Mavericks game. Because, like, if he's going to be out there and he's going to be playing this role, they've empowered him to be the guy that we saw tonight. He's got the green light. What frustrated me in the Mavs game, he had multiple opportunities to be aggressive, and he passed shots up that led to turnovers and led to worse shots. If you're going to be this guy, you're going to be the sixth man of the year guy, be the sixth man of the year guy. Do not be hesitant. It was beautiful. And this is what I want to see tonight. Yeah. Rivens, I know you love Pritchard. The Celtics were literally up 20 points. It's like the definition of garbage time. And he played great, but it was a fringe garbage time. I'll give you that. And last night he came in, all the starters are out, played awesome. I need you to be aggressive and be confident in all of your minutes. If you're going to be our sixth man, seventh man off the bench, I need you to play with that confidence. And I understand that's like the life of a role player, the kind of ebbs and the flows. But to see a game like this, hopefully he can go on another little run now because he was so huge for us early in the season. And that's why he is the sixth man of the year favorite. So see a game like that. And again, to build confidence in a team against a team that you're probably going to see in the playoffs is just huge. That part's massive. Like if you're going to be really confident and comfortable in this specific matchup, then we're good to go, man. Welcome to the Eastern Conference Finals, Boston Celtics. Feels fantastic. I think Torrey Craig is hurt. I think I saw something about he's just ramping up though. So, and guys, I wouldn't expect too much from Torrey Craig. That would be my suggestion. I like the pickup, 40% 3-point shooter over the last few seasons. He's played important minutes for some good teams in the past few years. He was an important piece for the Suns in that 2020, 21, 22 range. But there's always a reason these guys are available this time of year. But 6'7", can shoot from three and play a bit of defense for you. Great little veteran to have, veteran wing, big wing off the bench. We love that. Jaylen Brown, terrible game. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but evil Jaylen, 12 points, 4 turnovers, 5 for 14 from the field. It was pretty brutal. I thought defensively he was better in the second half, but was not a good Jaylen game. Derek White continues to be back, 17 points, 5 for 9, 17 points on 9 shots, 5 for 9, 4 for 7 from 3, 3 for 3 from the line, 3 boards, 3 assists, 1 block. Had an awesome block on Towns. Awesome block at the rim on Towns. He's just seems to be back. And those pull-up threes from behind the line, we're feeling good. I'm not worrying about Jaylen Brown until we get to the playoffs. If he plays bad in the playoffs, it's time to worry. The good news is when you got the rest of the team playing the way that they're playing, at least in games that they seem to care about, we can survive it. But 2 years in a row, Jaylen's been really fucking good coming out of the All-Star break. So I'm confident he's going to go on a run. But tonight was just the tunnel vision, bad turnovers, bad shots, bad defense. Fouled Jaylen Brunson on 2 3-point shots. Not really. But what's the point about we're not going to be able to worry. You can't change what happens. He's going to play in the playoffs. It is what it is. They weren't going to trade him at the trade deadline. I'm confident that he's going to play well in the playoffs. He's played well in the playoffs every year of his career. He really only has one bad series under his belt in his entire playoff career, and that's the Miami Heat series. I guess the Golden State series, he put up numbers, but a lot of the turnover stuff was there as well. But I'm confident Jaylen will settle down. And what I liked about Jaylen's game, he didn't force it once things were not going well for him. He let Tatum do his thing. He kind of let Pritchard do his thing as well, actually, once Tatum went out. He didn't force the issue when he was having a bad game. And, only 14 shots didn't go over the top. So, incredible game. I've got late night coming up with Sam LaFrance later as well. But, yeah. And that's it, man. Celtics win. Big W, obviously. Back-to-back wins against the Cavs and the Knicks. Obviously, I'm ignoring the Mavericks game because it doesn't count. But monster W. This is why you should just feel comfortable and confident for the rest of the season going to the playoffs. The 2 biggest threats in the Eastern Conference, we match up so well against. And that's just not going to change. And you just rely on the playoff success, the pedigree that this team has. All right. Till next time. Go Celtics.